or 3 picks. So interesting draft coming out of DJ.
Those are very interesting tier 3 picks because of just how greedy it feels to be, because they both kind of serve the same role as being that like damage outputter type thing. But I think the way that he wants to play is that he wants to have his choices, but that means he needs to play his early game impeccably well. And well, against Chip and Arbuz, that's going to be a big one.
I think the Badger and Boar make a really good combo, though, right? Because the Badger is your single target DPS and your Boar is your AoE. So if he manages, it is very greedy, but if he manages to get that out, it's going to be crazy. But DJ going for moles already.
Doesn't matter. We're not going to see that happen. We have moles here, man. Here come moles versus moles. Arbuz versus Djsoke. I keep wanting to call him Djsoke, but his name is DJ. It's the other way around. But yeah, the moles just like slightly bounce off against each other and then make their way through. So
yeah, great play out of these guys. And if you're a new player watching us, that's really good use of the mole. You don't have to overcommit. They kind of poke each other and then come back, sell the mole for full price, and just continue on with the game. So great decision making.
Value-wise, though, Chip and Arbuz are actually pulling on ahead. They already have a lot of warrens down. They have their 6 farms. Meanwhile, DJ and Sky don't really have their own 6 farms coming out yet. So they are definitely going to be falling behind a little bit in the economy timings here, and that's going to be a big advantage for Arbuz and Chip in this early game rush.
Yeah, I wonder what Sky spent the rest of his money on. There's a 6 farm starting, but I guess he must have went 5 farm double warren, where the other guys opted to get the 6 farm before their second warren. So a little slight advantage coming to Chip and Arbuz here. But first
Speaking of advantages here, we're going to see them try to fight their way onto the high ground here right now, as Skyraider actually doing some pretty decent damage here, as well as Djsoke. They actually take out a lot of the units and take out a warren as well. So Chip going to suffer a bit of damage here. Arbuz is going to be immediately replacing with his own warren to reinforce and make sure it's not too much of a loss. But a very nice aggressive attack coming in from DJ and Sky for this early game.
Yeah, and it's important to note the reason they're putting the warrens up on that high ground, guys, is because it's going to be so important to maintain that. And getting the vision from the warren. If you lose at the top of the high ground there, you're probably going to lose the game anyways, right? So they're not worried about losing warrens over and over or anything like that.
Meanwhile, DJ, he's going for the flank. He already takes out a building farm. Can he take anything else? That's 2 farms from the count. Can he make it a third? That's 3 farms against Arbuz. That's his revenge for having Harper taken away from him. He even keeps a lizard alive. That's a good 20 food investment. There we go.
Yeah, great play out of DJ. Really good game sense to abuse
now
that
they'd
flank.
be a little bit careful with the counterattack here. The Toads making their way through, making short work with Skyraider's own lizards, and now can be free to take some of their own warrens here. Warrens did get an HP buff, 10 more HP, so a little bit more time for the units to come out. But that doesn't really seem to matter. They're all just funneling their way through. Arbuz has his Squirrels Force out and ready to poke away at these pigs. And there's going to be a lot more pigs lost. Actually, DJ just calls it out himself. That's a GG. They have no units to defend, and that's going to be game.
Yeah, really smart decision-making out of Arbuz there. Even though DJ's flank was really good, he got a lot of damage done. He traded his whole army for like 3 pigs or 2 pigs and a building farm, right? So Arbuz and Chip, cleverly knew, okay, now we have a timing attack. We can push in. The enemy's down 6 lizards. And in a high-level game like this, that's all it takes, man. So great decision-making out of Arbuz and Chiz to seal the deal there.
Just to see how good that timing attack was, if you look at the graph, you can just see how that red just continually goes up while the yellow goes down. At that one point, Arbuz just didn't even bother to defend his farms. It's like, I don't care. You're going to lose units to my pigs, so I'm just going to go in for the attack.
Great game sense out of Arbuz, for sure.
Meanwhile, we go game number 2. It's the Battle of the River Valley here.
Okay, DJ
and
Sky really got to make it work.
This looks like a free-for-all map.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is a free-for-all. Are we sure this is doubles? Can we get a check to make sure it's a doubles match? I mean...
Oh, man. Where is...
The dividing line is not even across the river. It's perpendicular to the river. What?
Look how far Chip and Arbuz are from each other.
Arbuz and DJ, meanwhile, are so close to each other.
This is insane.
Meanwhile, Chip is so isolated out in the river line. What is this map? And because Djsoke is just going to go straight, DJ is just going to go straight for the kill with his moles. He's going to try to take this isolated farm out himself. Meanwhile, Skyraider is trying to defend against his own against the mole rush of Arbuz. But both sides, actually, it's going to be Chip and DJ just both suffering losses on both sides here. DJ trying to go for the rush of his own. The moles are still coming. They're still coming. All right, looks like he sold it off.
One of DJ's moles dies, and he barely gets the other one out alive. I really thought Chip's lizard was going to chase it down, but he decided to turn around at the last minute. So
And this is a very weird situation for both sides because how far behind Chip is. He is going to go straight for Warrens now. He needs to make sure he has that army count before he can go for farms.
Man, I have never seen a 2v2 map like this. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is a really interesting map just because of how far reinforcements have to go for each other. They have to weave their way in and out of high ground, low ground, forests, water paths, bridges. This is like this is like PUBG when your friends decide to just go to separate parts of the map. And then you say, okay, we're going to try to see if we can make our way to the center of the map and survive. You know?
Yeah. And I think you're right here. I think Chip recognized he took a lot of economic damage early. And instead of playing the game on the back foot, he's just going to try to muster up an attack force, get with his buddy, and make out of a Skyraider.
He has the army account advantage as well. He can see if he can take out as many farms as possible here. But actually, Chip, he's actually able to route it out. Unfortunately, the lizards had their targeting scattered out. Skyraider wasn't really focus firing, and because of that, Chip was easily able to swarm with only 6 lizards versus his 9.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a crazy game here. Chip down to 3 farms now.
Oh,
so,
Arbuz,
yeah,
he's going to pressure. He's going to pressure. He put down 2 moles right now with on top of his 3 squirrel warrens. Here we go for the attack right now. They want to get rid of those moles as quickly as possible. Chip coming in for the sidelines to help out as well. Both sides losing a lot of armies right now, and Arbuz unfortunately loses all of his squirrels, and Chip also loses all of his lizards. His toads don't come in time. He was a little bit too fast with that help there and wasn't able to get the explosive damage needed from the toads. And now Sky and DJ gonna go for the counterattack here onto Chip, who is severely weakened still.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to knock him out here if they do some quick targeting.
Oh, they want to focus down that mill so hard. Arbuz trying to come in from the backside, trying to see if he can poke out some units one by one, but that mill is gone. Nice. Chip sent to the kitchen. GG is called.
Yeah, so even though that engagement in the middle was a pretty even trade, you got to remember, guys, whatever team has the better economy is actually going to win the even trade. So Chip had taken so much damage, he had no economy to muster another force, and DJ and Skyraider recognized that and went in to seal the deal. I'm so happy this is going to go to a match 3 here, T.
This is going to be great. I mean, Sky, best of 5 actually, now. But That's Sky right. And DJ just read that map very nicely. They knew to attack on, and Arbuz also had to go in aggression himself, while Chip unfortunately suffered so many losses there.
All right, I got 5 internet points on DJ Mole Rushing again. What do you think?
Let me see. I need to take a look at this map here very quickly as we scout our way around through it. As ChipFromSpace and Arbuz situate themselves in the west side, as Skyraider and DJ are in the east. There's no way you Mole Rush this map.
Are you sure? It looks like DJ's going for it. We'll see. No, yeah, he's pulling back.
There's no way you can Mole Rush this map safely. There's a lot of high ground. The pigs are always going to get the vision advantage against the moles. Yeah. There's not enough room to build the moles safely. It's not great. And yeah, they're also close to each other. They can reinforce each other very easily. There's a lot of. I mean, he's still going to go for moles regardless, but
a little more of a delayed mole attack. You know, and he actually kind of faked out with a 5th farm, so that might mess up Arbuz's scouting here. Let's see if they can respond in time.
All right, we're waiting for those first units to pop out. He's actually going to go for the farms. He's actually ignoring the Warrens here. That's a big mistake here coming out. He is going to be able to take a farm out, but that's nothing compared to losing your 2 moles just like that.
Did he sell the second one
I think he sold 1. I think he was able to sell the second one, it looks like.
Yeah, but it was only at like a 3rd HP, so he's definitely not going to get a full refund. But the counterattack is coming.
Yeah, and they're also behind an army count. They have to be a little bit careful here. Their low lizard count means that hitting Warrens is a really bad idea for them, because that's too much HP. So they have to actually coax out Skyraider's units before they can properly attack. So Skyraider doing a very nice job of dancing around the Warrens, making sure that the Warrens soak up the damage here. And because of that, Chip and Arbuz have to back off.
Sky did a good job of not taking the bait there, I feel like. And these expansions are actually relatively even. I mean, I feel like Arbuz and Chip can get their first 2 out a little bit better, but you know, Skyraider getting that middle expansion would be huge for his zoning and his map positioning, wouldn't you think?
Probably, but this is the sort of scary thing is that DJ has to attack now because both Arbuz and Chip went into their full 8 farms here, going for the economy play after the failed Mole Rush. DJ trying to make his way through, make his way into Chip, seeing how much he can take from the backside. Here comes a frog. The frog not being attacked right now. It's going to explode and take them out. Meanwhile, Skyraider trying to chip his way in through right now, but not a lot of economic damage taken away from Chip and Arbuz, so they're still going to be able to econ up safely as DJ and Sky have to back up for the time being.
Yeah, I almost would have liked them to maybe into that attack together, perhaps. I don't think the two-prong attack really worked out well for him, but, you know, they're not out of it. If DJ commits to an 8th farm here, which it looks like he's just done, yeah, their economy is a little bit behind, but they can find little advantages to come back in. I mean, they've got that high ground right outside of Skyraider's base. I'd really like to see them abuse.
I mean, neither of them are brought structures into this game, so it's going to be a little bit scary to defend from the high ground just to put units up there.
Yeah,
By the time being, both sides are just taking it easy. Arbuz unfortunately lost a Lizard Warren, so he has an Orphan Lizard. He's just going to go straight for the Fox.
Yeah, and remember, if you're a new player, guys, one of these guys needs to make a play before the 5-minute mark, because at 5 minutes, 4 of your farms mine out. So you either need to be going for a 1 base all-in, or you need to be expanding around the 4-minute to 4:30 mark at the latest. So really, we got about another 30 to 50 seconds before the action really starts picking up here.
Well, I mean, it's more like 80 seconds because it takes 40 to build the Fox and then 40 to actually get the Warren out. Meanwhile, Arbuz going all in with the tier 3s. He's going to put a cannon on the high ground here to defend the base as quickly as possible. That's going to come out very quickly as well here, as neither Sky nor DJ are actually attacking them right now. That's going to allow them to take an expansion here too. So Arbuz and Chip playing greedily here. They are going to spot out that artillery, but nothing much they can really do about it at this point.
Yeah, I love the play out of Chip and Arbuz. You know, they're recognizing they're some of the top tier players, so they're saying, hey, we're going to play standard, right? We're going to macro up, we're going to take bases. It's really on our opponents to stop us, because if this becomes a macro game, you know, Chip and Arbuz are going to be in an incredible lead.
I mean, the answer to that is that you get the Wolf and Badger out at the same time, which is what they're doing right now. But Arbuz will have his Fox out first to be able to poke and harass, so let's see how much damage he's going to be able to do. But ChipFromSpace, he is putting a lot of money into a Lizard, so he has to be very careful he doesn't get out-kited by the Badger.
Yeah. What happens with Sky and DJ's big tier 3 units come up, it's going to put them in a great position to make a play. But the Fox is out, so he needs to start getting value now. He really needs to get at least 360 food worth of damage done with that Fox to justify its existence. So here we go.
But they can't do too much to it because of that artillery cannon. Here we go. Arbuz already pushing his way in with the Fox, chasing after DJ. And here we go. The harassment begins from Arbuz.
And I would love to see artillery cannons just inch up here out of Arbuz. That would be so cool.
That's a very possible thing for them. Remod Chip is attacking that expansion here. That expansion is gone for good, and Chip quickly backs out. In the meantime, the Fox is providing fire support in the backside. The Badger Wolf is out, though. Can this artillery hold? Here we go.
Like a good way to break it. Let's see.
Making their way to the north side. They brought the Badgers to the water. I don't know. That's the greatest idea. This guy has so much burst damage. Too much burst.
No.
Oh my god, it survived. One hit. One hit, but the Fox is here. The Fox is here. He takes it out. The Badger is gone. Oh, the Wolf is gone too. They tried so hard to just rout them out, but they went through the water, slowed themselves down. The Badger wasn't even buffed.
Yeah, I hate when things like that happen, man. It feels bad when a Fox gets
Oh
stuck
my
in the
god,
water.
Arbuz. Victory mole lap.
Hey, why not at this point?
Oh, that disastrous play. It's like, man, you could have maybe had that fight if you played that a little bit patiently, but unfortunately, they ran the Badger and Wolf into a very bad area of the map, and unfortunately paid for it. 2-1 in favor of ChipFromSpace and Arbuz. EJ and Sky still have the chance to make the comeback here.
Yeah, and it feels really bad when stuff like that happens, right? Because your main focus is trying to get a good flank on the army, get a good positioning, and they might have just simply forgotten that that was water terrain. I mean, that's happened to me before, and it just feels bad. But really close game coming out there. It could have been totally different if they were on terrain.
Yeah, they had a lot of space too. That was mostly flat ground. They get some pigeons up, give the Badger some vision. Just a lot of things they could have played better. They tried their best to just flank both Chip and Arbuz, but unfortunately, they flanked the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think Djsoke thought it was a best of 3, so we're trying to get him back in here to finish out this match.
Yeah, but you can see that Sky and DJ, they did respond with a really nice timing of the Badger and Wolf. They saw how much that Chip and Arbuz were turtling, so they wanted to rush get their own tier 3s out, get their own sizable army out as well. Just very unfortunate plays, and Arbuz and Chip defending the situation very nicely and going straight into greed mode.
Yeah, and that little play Chip did really sealed the deal before the big fight, where Chip came in, sniped the gristmill expansion, and got back out. He really delayed the economy from his enemy team. And you don't have to overcommit, guys. Don't be afraid to run in get a key building or a warren and get right back out and save your army, because having to rebuild the same 6 to 9 lizards over and over again really slows your whole build down.
Right now, they gave me a chance to take a look at the draft. They're really going at it right now here. Game number 4, ladies and gentlemen, 2-1 in favor of ChipFromSpace and ArbuzBudesh, situated very far apart each other once again to the north and west side, while Skyraider and Djsoke are just sitting nicely together in the southeast. What?
I think Pocketwatch Games might be putting a thumb on this and giving DJ and Skyraider a chance or something. Those spawns are so far away, man. Noon and 9. That's crazy.
It's not terrible because there is road path between them, so they can reinforce pretty quickly to each other. But yeah, they are very far apart. I wouldn't be surprised if DJ goes for that mole rush, but there's that first warren being put down. It's a little bit too late for DJ. I don't think he even expected it to be that far away from each other.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, Chip's got a nice natural, right? And so does Arbuz. He's got really 2 natural expands right outside of his base. So overall, the Gristmill positioning seems relatively balanced here. And I'm kind of disappointed to not see like a big high ground in the middle of the map. I think that's really cool part for contention. But instead, we've got this Mississippi River going all around this map, which is going to make it really crazy for either army to super commit across the map.
The little unfortunate thing, though, is that Chip and Arbuz's decks are really built for helping each other out. Before I go on to that, here we go, Lizard Rush right away, trying to take out as many farms as they can. They are able to take out the Lizards coming out from Skyraider. Skyraider, unfortunately, funneling out with his Lizards, able to take out 2 farms of their own. Now they're back out immediately. So very nice early rush attempt going by Chip and Arbuz, just pressuring Sky and DJ, knowing full well that their positions are a little bit too far apart from each other.
Yeah, and that's really the signature of it.
Was that a 4-farm double Warren Lizard Rush? Wow. They really are going to go all in. In the meantime, Arbuz is going to have to defend against 2 players in the ones. ChipFromSpace coming in with the backup from behind here. Meanwhile, 1 farm going to be taken out, 2 farms going to be taken out. Anything else? They are going to be able to sell off take out the building farm too. They're going to go for the chase now, see if we get the counterattack in. Taking out a few stray yellow lizards here for the count. See if they can take out anything else here. Just warping their way around this map. Gotta be a little bit careful. Blue needs to make sure his lizards still are keeping on the move. And they're going to be gone.
I love to see this out of high-level players where they don't overcommit with their attacks, right? Get in, do some damage, pull back, reinforce. I mean, that's the way to do it. So, unfortunately, Arbuz feels like... well, actually, no, Chip being a bro and helping his buddy to macro up a little bit and get his farms back by placing the turret in front of his base.
The turret's going to come up here, and Chip
DJ
sees the attack. DJ has to be very careful about this one. He can't just rush into it. I think he sensed the trap.
Yeah, I think he saw the turret building and said, okay.
Backing out now.
Yeah, that's a smart move to make, guys. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's all about the dance as much as it's about the engagements. Muscling for positioning, trying to get a flank. You can't overcommit and lose all your lizards. Or a really good player is just going to know it's time to counter and seal the deal there. So good decision.
You can see, Chip is spending most of his money into those machine gun nets to defend both sides here, and it's causing a lot of problems for Sky and DJ. They can't actually attack into them very safely. They have good positions to put those machine gun nets in. But here we go. DJ going to go for round 2, and blocked off.
Nice positioning. He will be able to get that turret.
He is going to be able to get the kill on the machine gun nest, but here comes the rest of the army, and DJ has to back out.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to invest early into machine guns like that, because you can always sell them later and get a full refund. And Chip has allowed Arbuz macro back up.
Oh, he's going back in. Has to be careful. The toads are right there. Chip is very good at microing his units out, so DJ needs to be very careful with his attacks. In the meantime, Arbuz is going to scout things out here for the time being. As we take a quick look at the units, it's DJ going to rush out a Badger.
Chip is going hard on these toads, man. It's insane.
The burst damage of the toads are real strong here, and that Badger has to be very careful too that it doesn't get kited. It is going to come out very soon, though. That's about a 20-second Badger, almost ready to go. But here comes ChipFromSpace going on the attack on the Warrens right now. Arbuz going to join him on the sidelines. DJ and Sky trying to see if they get the counterattack from the north side of the map, trying to poke their way through, but they have to be very careful. There are a lot of toads making their way through right now, and Chip has a large number of toads.
Yeah, great push there. This might be
but the Badger's up. The Badger's up.
Wow, I can't believe they held off there.
The farm is... Only 1 farm died.
Yeah,
Wow.
they held that relatively well.
The bad news is that DJ lost a lot of his warrens, but he has the Badger out, so he doesn't really care right now. He's going to go for the attack here. Can he do a lot of damage to Arbuz here? In the meantime, ChipFromSpace trying to see if he can flank the Badger from behind. Can they do enough damage here? The Badger needs to wind up the gun. Unfortunately, Badger got a wind-up nerf, so has to be very careful. 6 seconds of attack before it's at full speed. Here we go. It's starting to go at full speed right now, just before they duck away, so... Gotta build up that Badger. Daka, 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 Daka. Here it goes. Taking out one warning. We're going to take out a second one as well. Arbuz going to go quick for a mill. Trying to keep himself alive, but that Badger just pounding his way into Arbuz's base here right now. Trying to distract him with the lizard, but it's not enough. That mill is gone, and Arbuz is gone from the game. Chip from Space alone by himself calls a GG. What a great Badger timing coming out from DJ.
What was I telling you, best team maker? This is good. This is the match, man. Should have been the grand finals, I feel like, but you can't count Djsoke and Skyraider out. They're both phenomenal players, so that puts us up to a 2-2 in this best of 5. And remember, guys, whoever loses this goes down to the losers bracket, so they're not eliminated just yet. So that's a game about to come up. Do you think it's going to kind of play out the same way? Do you think anyone's going to make adjustments to their deck? I mean, I think both teams have a really good strategy coming into this.
I think the problem was that they never even saw that Badger coming, so a lot of their attack was just focused on poking in and out with Sky and DJ, trying to drain their resources, but once that Badger comes out, they don't really have much against it. They have a lot of Toads, but a lot of those Toads already died in the initial wave, so he wasn't able to get them fast enough. Right,
yeah. And overall, it really was the early game that played out in the mid game, I feel like. I mean, Arbuz and Chip did a very good job recovering from the early pressure, but you got to remember, Arbuz got knocked down to like, what, 1 or 2 farms at the very beginning?
Yeah. It was a little unfortunate, but, you know, they played that one pretty well. They just didn't scout that one thing that changed the game completely for them. So here we go. There's another small map for both sides here. ChipFromSpace and ArbuzBudesh to the northwest as Skyraider and DJ just settle down in their homely little southeast corner once again.
Okay, let's wait for these moles to come out of DJ.
Look at that road. That road is just like way between those two guys. Arbuz put down his almost just in case. It's like, I know you're doing something.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Yep, I like this out of DJ a lot. He's got that safer spot, so he's gonna macro up a little bit. Good idea. Skyraider's really gonna take the brunt of most of the attacks coming in. So.
Ooh. Okay, we're good.
A little bit of lag.
But yeah, in any case, both we're gonna see Arbuz actually go for a little bit greedier. He sold off his mole, gonna go for the 7 farm warrens. Meanwhile, Chip gonna get his double warren out on the 5th farm timing. So both Chip and Sky just trying to protect their partner in this early engagement. Chip just
look at these. Look at the castle of expansions around Chip and Arbuz. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, nothing you can really do about that because of the HP buff from the Warren, so it's going to take a lot of time for these early Lizard Rushes to actually do much. But you also see Chip and Arbuz doing the same thing themselves, so neither side really willing to go for that attack just yet, even though there's this nice, juicy road in between their bases.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see some of that gristmill tanking, right, this game. A lot of these forward expansions outside of Arbuz and Chip space. I mean, what if DJ and Sky came in and took one of those in the middle of a big engagement, and that took some damage, and that could help swing the fight in their favor?
That's a little scary if you're in the middle of a fight. If you want to, usually you do it at the start of a fight that you're actually putting the food in. Speaking of which, DJ going to go for the backside, going to see if he can step out a pig. 1 pig down. Can he get a second one? He will get that second. No, not quite.
But the counterattack.
Yeah, DJ went for the escape, but left his lizards there, so they weren't able to kill off that final pig because they started to target the lizards instead. So unfortunately, only able to get a single farm, not too much of damage against Arbuz. He's able to easily replenish it.
Okay, I was a little worried about that counterattack, but good war and positioning out of Skyraider, creating this buffer zone in front of his base, and it was able to push it back for now.
Yeah, I mean, Chip has his buffer in the form of Toad. Sky has it in the form of all these Warrens. So both sides looks like they're gonna calm down a little bit here. Although DJ, he really wants to poke his way in through right now, and this might not be the best position to do so. But here comes Skyraider coming in for the help, but he also has to pull back too. A lot of high ground advantage going the way of Arbuz and Chip.
Yeah, DJ is one of those players that just loves to run around and try to use his units constantly, right? I really like how he's not overcommitting. He saw that he could knock out a couple squirrels and then just pull back, so I thought that was pretty good from DJ.
It's just that ever-present fear of Toads, because if you run your army into those Toads, it's game over.
I mean, I'm not the best player in the world, but if I was DJ in this position, I might sell off my lizards
Badger
for more
Rush?
squirrels, right?
Badger Rush again?
Or Badger Rush, yeah, that's what I like to do.
I mean, meanwhile, Arbuz going for the cannon rush.
Yeah.
So both sides just rushing their tier 3 units out quickly. That artillery is going to come out first, by the way, because it only takes 40-second build time. While the Badger
is such a good spot for that artillery, right? Like, any way they try to hit the front, that's going to be in range.
I mean, artillery plus the frogs, that's a lot of burst damage going opposing its way. This also allows Chip to actually take this expansion for himself here.
Right.
Because that artillery would do a lot in defending it. Although you could like lead the attack against the artillery, and that could help a little bit here. A lot of damage going this way for Arbuz's new mill. But they are going to be able to back up for the time being. Here come the Toads making their way into the front side here. Chip trying to pull their way forward. But Skyraider also has his own Toads to soak up some of the damage here, and DJ is going to be able to back out with most of his units still intact.
Yeah, good game sense, not overcommit. Again, that's really the kind of player DJ is. He goes in with little squads of units and tries to eke out these advantages. He attempted to snipe that gristmill, but knew, you know what, it's not going to happen. I got to get out of here. And all that water around that gristmill makes it a lot harder to do stuff like that.
Meanwhile, Chip is going to be able to get his own boar out at a pretty decent timing, only about 20 seconds behind DJ's own Badger, and it'd be a little bit scary for him to actually attack into the artillery cannon on its own. They do have a large army backing it up. There's a lot of pigeons there to support it too, along to give it vision. But it looks like they're going to play it a little bit safer, taking the expansions for themselves first.
Yeah, that was a good time to get some expansions going, and Chips really need to get one expansion up on his own, and I'm sure he's aware of this. And the 5-minute mark is coming up, so.
Here comes the Badger, bumbling along. How much damage will it do? Let's find out. Here we go, just pummeling that way into that. That mill's gone. There's no one actually contesting that mill. And are they going to go for a base race? It was a little interesting. But here we go, the boar making its way through, trying to tear its way into the army, and both sides just charging right through. Toads marking out the explosion first. The boar has it back up just a little bit, taking a little bit too much damage right now. Has to go and cover the pigeon at the same time. So is that Badger trying to duck its way through the battlefield right now. But both sides able to pull away their major tier 3 units, and the artillery cannon providing a lot of defensive support for Arbuz and Chip.
And I'd really like to see him not go in. If they don't have to go into this artillery cannon, they just got to prevent Arbuz
trying to go from the south side. They want to attack from the south side. The Badger revving its way up, already back to full health here. Duck it goes, trying to build it back up here, but there's so much fire burning its way through. Skyraider can't get his units up very safely. He has to go behind the Badger. He has to have the Badger take up as much damage as possible here. He has to be very careful about his positioning here. The squirrels are just burning left and right here. The Badger not doing enough damage to the correct units, actually targeting Warrens instead. This Badger just burning everything that comes close to him.
Yeah, I'd really like to see them.
Oh no!
Press the issue.
Oh, they're trying their best here. The pigeons are doing their best to try to keep that Badger alive, but the Badger's not really in range to do a lot of damage here. Now taking too much fire damage. The Fox is out. Coming out from ArbuzBudesh to counter that Badger here, and DJ has to back out immediately. He's going to forgo his pigeons, and Arbuz is going to pick up the mill again. Going to rebuild his farms, able to get his tier 3 Fox out in time. Very nice defensive plays coming out from Chip, especially just keeping his board back and putting Skyraider especially in a terrible position because he only has his tier 1s.
Right. I really wish they would have came in, got that expansion, and got back out, because all they have to do is starve out Chip and Arbuz. I mean, they've got their expansions up, and that artillery cannon is just in too good of a spot to really try to push the issue too far, so...
Oh, here we go. Once again, Badger and Boar, but there's a Fox as the +1 for the Boar. This Badger has to be very careful here. Skyraider trying to go to the backside, but he doesn't have the numbers to do anything. This Badger's all on its own right now, taking fire, taking sniper shots, and it's gone. I think that's GG right there. That little bit of a pause. And there it is. DJ calls it quits, and there it is. Arbuz and Chip defend their side of the map and take the victory.
Yeah, great match out of all players there. And again, I really wish DJ and Sky would have taken a little slower, but after they took that expansion from Arbuz, they smelt blood in the water, right? They felt the tempo, and they wanted to get in there, but that artillery cannon on top of the Boar, on top of everything else,